Speaking of funding, so Reform go out to have a party and join the celebrations of Donald Trump. And Nick Candy let slip on his Twitter, well, I don't think he let slip, I think he was quite happy to talk about it, that someone's offered him $10 million to help oust Keir Starmer and get Reform into power. Fascinating about this is that the report goes on to suggest that Trump's advisors, Trump's party, are assisting and advising Reform on how to win elections. And the message is simple: don't forget the little guys, the left behinds.
Yes, and what Trump's 2 elections have shown is that you can be an insurgent within a party and win. What Reform are doing appears to be much more difficult, changing a 150-year political consensus with a completely new party. Because if Farage wanted to attempt to do what Trump has done, he would join the Conservative parties and lead from the front.
Well, half of the party members, Claire, of the Conservative Party members, think there should be a merger or alliance.
Yes.
And in general polling, even though Reform were in 3rd in the last one on 22% compared to 26% for Conservative and Labour, most people thought Farage should be Prime Minister.
Isn't that a frightening thought? Can you imagine?
Is it a frightening thought?
Well,
Why
it
is
is,
it
because
frightening?
Starmer's more frightening.
Well, Starmer is just the worst nightmare ever, apart from Peter Mandelson. It's
Has he offended you in the past life?
Well, it's almost as if it's Halloween every day. Anyway, it's shocking. Because I tell you why. Farage is a great politician in that he's a great orator. He is able to go like that with his finger and touch, you know, what the political platform, feel the heat that he needs to address. When he's speaking to party members, indeed when he's speaking even in question time, and when he's speaking in general, he's always got a message. And he says it with such bon vivant, it's very difficult not to be taken up by it. However, and here's the punch, what are the manifesto promises of the Reform Party? I don't believe they've actually published anything. I don't think they've actually got.
Well, they had a manifesto at
substance.
the election, didn't they? Which did have gaps in it financially. They deny that, but what I'm saying is they had broad brush strokes.
Well, it was never robustly defended, nor was it adequately put through the microscope. Yeah, it wasn't scrutinised enough.
But it certainly will be next time.
Indeed, it will be, and I think that's.
Is there any other leader that would make you more convinced of Reform, or is your issue Reform? My
issue is Reform. And I think the other we spoke about Keir Starmer being flip-flopping around the place. Farage has started to do this. Now look at Elon Musk, Tommy Robinson. You know, there are main issues here that are not being addressed. Now, the chaos has now moved from that to President Trump elects inauguration tomorrow.
He called out Musk on Tommy Robinson, didn't he?
Well, did he? I mean, this is the whole thing.
I mean, he made himself unpopular with some of his own supporters.
But no to joining Conservatives, the Reform and Conservatives back together. I think that, well, not back together.
But Johnny, it's true. The Conservative, if you were Kemi Badenoch, she has got a point, and I know we don't hear much of her these days, but she's got a point when she says, I don't think there should be, if you like, a partnership with Reform, because they made it their mission to destroy the Conservative Party.
Yes, they have. And
the Conservatives destroyed themselves.
Yeah, well, what's left of them?
Come on.
OK, what's left of them? But that is their mission.
Yeah, I mean, people have been critical that Kemi Badenoch hasn't made the start that people expected of her. But what I think she may be doing is let the bluster of the Reform Party move, let them make a few mistakes, and they have done. The row between Musk and Farage, which has been quelled over Tommy Robinson. And it might be that at some point, after that bluster and some of the fault lines begin to appear in Reform, because they're having a bit of a honeymoon period, then actually she might begin to make a comeback. She's a very, very formidable debater in Parliament. The way she...
Does anyone notice?
Well,
William Hague was pretty good.
Well, that's a very good point. Does she have the charisma? She has the intellect.
I don't think she's got the
charisma?
presence at the moment.
Right.
And that's a tough thing to get. But
Against
time will
Farage,
tell.
time will tell.
Margaret Thatcher was really unpopular for 6-7 months before she started to make inroads.
Yes.
In fact, longer. So any
well, there's nout as queer as folk, if I can even use that term unwokingly now. So I think, Reform, I think we had to have something like that. in order to shift and engage politics at a very young age, and then closer to home.
No insurgent. We've only got a minute, by the way. But no insurgent party in my lifetime, and I'm 65, nearly 66, has ever got to 22, 23% in the polls. They are different.
No, they are.
And these local elections coming up in May.
Was there not a little bit of SDP excitement in 1983?
There was excitement.
Yes.
There was, and it was just when my first vote nearly went to the SDP because I thought they were new, and then I grew up.
Right.
Well, no,
but they're a very different party now, minority though they are, the SDP.
I quite like the SDP.
Yeah.
I really do.
They're still going.
They are still going.
Yeah.
William
But they're a
Clouston's
very Clouston's SDP is very different to Dr. David Owen. Very different.
Yeah.
Because it was SDLP then, I think.
They have an interesting take on Europe as well. We're talking about the SDP. I'll have them in as guests if we carry on like this.
They'd be delighted.
Have you got anything planned for the rest of the weekend? Having given up your Sunday to be here?
It's my wife's birthday tomorrow, so I've given her the Trump administration as a present.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Gould.
Happy birthday, love.
You're going to have to shout if all the music's coming. Claire, what are you up to?
I've got more work and more everything else to do, more family stuff. And
well, I'm off to the rugby
Lovely.
later this afternoon, off to Saracens. It's going to be freezing, but my grandkids are coming with me.